What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, and you're guaranteed 15. And the offer ends very soon, just a couple of weeks. Anyways, we got a Trump victory. Trump has won the presidential election. And with him coming back in office, this is exactly what Elon Musk and the Tesla team basically preferred because of the fact that Elon Musk was endorsing him and so involved in the campaign. This has caused Tesla to pump all the way up to about 12% so far. We'll have to see how well it could actually sustain these levels, but so far the whole market is gapping up amidst this Trump victory. SPY is currently trying to hold at 588. We actually reached 590. That's way higher than what we were talking about yesterday. I was looking at like 580 as a target, if not near all-time highs. We're well above that, guys. So pretty crazy stuff. And I just want to say this. There's going to be some momentum remaining. So there's going to be moments where we dip a little bit, then we get bought back up. Buyers still try to defend this and push this a little bit higher. There are going to be present buyers just to start things off, but the question remains: can we sustain these levels? I'll be watching that very, very carefully, at least as time goes on. So I'll talk about the charts in just a minute. Let's first go over all this news. Basically, we had a presidential surge. Let me just say that huge congratulations to both sides. For those people out there that supported Kamala Harris, everyone that was involved, I just want to say congratulations for making it that far. I just wish the best for all you guys, no matter what. And then for those who voted for Trump, great job, guys. Trump had a victory. Just know this: whatever side you're on, okay, do not worry too much if you didn't support the candidate that ended up winning, or if you did. Don't worry way too much, because at the end of the day, it's not going to affect your life to an extremely large extent, at least for most Americans out there. What I mean by that is that you could still wake up, brush your teeth, go to work, come back, and do what you have to do. And we could just focus on our own lives if you guys are concerned about this. And if anything, just know that, don't worry too much about what the media says. Don't worry too much about what, all this chaos is going to come. Just be optimistic, keep your heads up, and live your guys' best lives, no matter who is president. Okay. So please, there's going to be a lot of noise, but don't resort to anything too crazy. Just remain peaceful. Don't worry, and keep your guys' heads up. So with Trump winning, okay, the market obviously had a very, very positive reaction to that. The market is just going to gap up. And I just want to say that it was very wild. It was very, very wild to witness this historical event. I mean, he won in 2016, he lost in 2020, and he won again. So the man never stops. And, he just has my respect for that. Let me just say this: with his presidency, Elon Musk and his team are going to be involved in what's known as DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And Musk was heavily involved in this campaign, so that's very important. More positive for Tesla. I do believe that this is going to help stocks like Tesla run in the future. We're going to see Tesla surpass the 300s pretty easily because of this. But for the shorter term, it's just a matter of, can we hold these levels? That's what we're going to be paying a lot more attention to. So with that being said, what do I see, at least for the markets? There's going to be policy changes under Trump. He has different ideas, different ways of doing things relative to the current administration. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said before, guys, I'm not too scared or worried about anything like that. I know there's some people that don't support this. That's fine, guys. Don't worry too much. Things are going to be fine nonetheless. I stayed up till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's actually like 5 a.m. right now from the time I record these videos. So I'm only performing on like 1 or 2 hours of sleep. Despite that, I'm still here, guys. For some earnings that came out, let's just talk about how these are looking. We had some earnings that came out. Basically, we had Supermicro, which did a little bit poorly. I did talk about that yesterday. That's why the share price is down for that, because guidance was not that good. CVS had mixed earnings. They were kind of all over the place. They did miss on EPS, but they beat on revenue. But their overall health insurance sector did relatively well, and health in itself was doing okay with them. So it had some mixed results. But overall, the share price still did well because their guidance was aligned with expectations. Not bad whatsoever from CVS. Celsius, on the other hand, is dipping because of the fact that there's a big drop in their revenue. Sources are showing that their revenue saw a bit of a decrease. The gross profit is also down about 37%, and their EPS was so-so. EPS was so-so. Revenue was not as great. But at the end of the day, guys, we did get lower estimates, and that's why the share price is down. So unfortunately, CELH is looking for a bit of a dip. Besides that, for the economic calendar, is not really much coming out for today. It's more like the market's just reacting to the election. Later on, we do have a bill auction or a bond auction at 1 p.m., but it's very minor. And then just know that as time goes on, tomorrow is going to be another big day since we have FOMC. For now, we're just watching to see how the market responds. Tesla's up 13%, okay, with Elon Musk backing Trump, right? Awesome stuff, at least for Tesla to see this. And we'll have to see how things go, at least moving forward. But this is more bullish news for Tesla, as we're starting to see Elon Musk in favor of this. And a lot of policies, once again, can work in Tesla's favor because of that. There will be things under Trump that are not going to benefit Tesla. If you look at like the tax incentives and things like that, but other things could be in their favor now because of this, especially because Musk is going to be involved in the campaign. And if anything, it's more positive than negative because Musk has even said that he's not too worried about the changes to the tax policy and the whole EV credits. He's not as worried about that. He said Tesla's going to be fine. Yes, I think Tesla will be impacted by them, but then Musk is saying that the longer term is going to be worth it for Tesla, and there's going to be other things that kind of outweigh that. Not trying to get too political here. Um, Tesla stock is soaring. Right now, it's running quite a bit. So we'll see how things end up going at these levels. Now let's just focus on these charts. Tesla has this resistance now to watch for at 284. If we get back above 284, we're looking for an attempt to get back up to 288. If we can't hold above 284, we're looking at 280 as the main support. We'll have to see if we hold above 280 or not. If not, we could actually dip a little bit closer to about the 275 area. We could slow down just a bit if that ends up being the case. So watch to see if we could hold above 280 or not. I presume what's going to happen is we dip to 280, we get a bounce. We just see some buyers try to defend it initially. But over time, it might slow down just a bit, just a little bit to cool off on its RSI and cool off on its indicators before we continue to run even more later on. So that's what I'm essentially seeing, but overall, it's still holding up well. SPY is dipping a little bit. We're back at 588. We'll have to see if we could hold above 588 or not. If we hold it, we could attempt to get back up to 590. My gut tells me that this is not a sustainable level for now. We might actually slowly make our way back down to closer to all-time highs. Might slow down just a little bit before it tries to bounce again. So just be on the lookout for that just to be safe. For ES, it's the same thing essentially. We pumped very nicely to about just under 59.50. We could be dipping again closer to about 59.25. So it could be a small dip coming before we see some more buyers defend. So give this the time it needs. If you look at Nvidia, we're at 142. 142 to 144 is a tough resistance. We could push a little bit more to 142.5. It still looks a little bit bullish right now, but just be careful at this resistance because once we hit 142 to 144, that's going to be a little bit tougher for the share price. So look for a little bit more upside and watch and see how it ends up reacting to that resistance. Bitcoin is running. We did talk about how Bitcoin's going to be looking for a big push if we got a Trump victory. Lo and behold, it's up 7% already, which is pretty crazy. We're looking at 75,000 as our tough resistance, and we have support at 72,000. Might push for 75,000, then kind of consolidate in this range between 73 and 75,000 for some time. But overall, it is still more bullish. For NQ, it's the same thing essentially. We're bullish. We filled the gap. We're looking to see if this could try to get back up towards about 20,700 to 20,750 in that range. And we'll see if we get a rejection off that or not. So we have 20,600 as the main support, not to mention 20,500. I think we could push a little bit higher, but then watch to see what happens once we hit this resistance. So give this the time it needs. Same thing with the QQQ. We pumped to 500, but just know it's a tough resistance. We'll see if 500 holds. If not, we could be looking for a retest of 498 and eventually 496.5. We'll have to see how it goes. I think it might dip a little bit. Aapl pumps. Now it's dipping back down. This could slow the market down just a little bit. We might be on our way back down to about 222, guys. So just be very mindful of that. For the IWM Russell 2000, we are gapping up very nicely, but just be careful at 238. It's going to be a tough resistance up here. Can we break past 238? If not, we're looking for 235 as our potential target. We might be dipping back down to 235 and eventually 232, the 232 area if that fails us. So watch those supports, but overall, we're doing a good job. For coin, we pumped very nicely to about 220. We'll see if we break 220 or not. If we hit 220 and reject, we're looking for this main support down here around 215. So give this some time. 220 is going to be a tough resistance, so we'll see how it develops. Amazon's at 200 as a tough resistance. We'll see if we break it or not. If we can't hold above 200, we could be dipping back down for 197.8. But overall, it's still kind of trying to hold up right over here. See, some stocks like Meta did not get that good of a reaction from This might be dipping back down for 560, guys. So look for a little bit of a dip on Meta. For others out there, such as Microsoft, they pushed very well. We're actually up a little bit for about 418. We'll see if we break 418 or not. If not, there is this gap to fill back to about 412. We might see a little bit of a dip on this. Google pumped very, very well so far. We're actually up about 2%. It's not that huge of a move. But we're looking for basically 176.5. Can we break this or not? We might touch this and come short. We also have this gap to fill down here. So we have to see if 175 breaks. If it can't break it, I think we come back down to 173.8. And if that fills us, then we come down to fill the gap. So watch 175. Can we break it or not? Otherwise, we'll be watching to see how things end up going. With that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. Tesla will gap up, but the question is, can we hold above basically 282 and then 280? Can we hold above those levels? My gut is telling me that for the time being, we will attempt to hold up, but as time goes on, there might be a little bit of a dip coming because we're already up like 12%. We're already up so big. So in the morning, look for a little bit of a pop. A lot of buyers will continue to defend for some time. We might see a lot of sideways price action between 282 and 290. But as time goes on, we might see Tesla slow down a little bit later on, especially if we don't hold above 280. So that's what my view essentially is. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great day. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours, and peace out.